Today, the topic that I'm going to discuss right now is how to reach enlightenment. And I welcome all your questions, okay? No matter what your question is, no matter how deep that question is, please take your time to comment. And I will also let you know there is actually going to be a twist in this, okay? I am going to say something that you would never ever expect, okay? Something totally unexpected regarding the topic of this video, okay? So let us see, okay? I am going to wait for the questions. Shoot your questions, please. Because I have the answer to the question, okay? I have. I do have. Based on the experience that they have that I have had in the last 10 years, okay? Adapt Insight is back, okay? Please don't talk about anything that we discussed in the previous video. Please don't, okay? I mean, the previous video, which might have which you don't know the date of the previous video, right? So maintain this, okay. I will come to you later, okay. Let us see, okay. Let us see who comes right now, okay, to ask these questions. i am going to I am going to answer, okay, the most I am going to dive deep into spiritual enlightenment today, okay. And yeah, I'm also promising, okay, that I will do it. So please go ahead, come up with your comments. But in the meantime, okay, I think I should actually talk about the topic of this video, okay, before I get comments, because I don't want to be silent, because there are a lot of people who might watch this video later, okay, and if I am silent for a long time, they may get bored, okay. So first of all, what is spiritual enlightenment? Is there a definition? Is there one definition to that to that phrase or word? No. In fact, spiritual enlightenment is an English word, okay. When I was studying in school, okay, when I was in second grade, I studied this in my textbook, okay. Buddha achieved enlightenment in Bodhi tree, okay. That is the first time I ever heard about the word enlightenment. Whenever I want to answer these questions, I will only look at my own perspective and my own experience, okay. I always do this, okay. I will answer questions based on my own experience. So enlightenment is a word that I heard when I was in second grade, okay, when I read about Buddha. And as I said, Buddha achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, okay. And after that, I have encountered many different things, okay. I learned about Christianity because I studied in Christian schools and even Muslim schools, okay. And I also learnt about various mantras, various worship methods, because as a Hindu I went to temples, and my grandmother was very very devotional, okay. So she used to take me to a lot of speeches, okay, where I used to attend those speeches, and I was very very impressed. And I was those days I was believing, okay, I was believing in this, okay. I really believe that all these gods, okay, they exist as a family up there, somewhere up there, okay. Even movies, when I watched, I didn't even watch them, okay, but I have heard about these movies through Adal, and we had audio cassettes those days. Those days what they will do is, there are some audio cassettes which will have the entire sound of the movie, including the dialogues, okay, music and dialogues, songs and everything, but you won't see visuals. So even if people cannot afford to rent video cassettes, okay, because those days we didn't have CDs. Those days we did not have computers or mobile phones, okay. If you want to watch a movie, if you want to watch a particular movie, first you have to have a television. Then you have to have a video cassette player. Then you have to have the actual video cassette of the movie. Even if you happen to have television, what most people will do is they won't have this player in the first place, and they won't have the actual cassette, video cassette of the movie. Okay, so what they will do is they will rent both the video cassette player as well as the video cassette itself. Okay, and these video cassette rental shops are available in a lot of small towns. Okay, they will have most of the popular movies, but but there are audio cassettes which are available for movies. Audio cassettes will not have visuals, obviously, okay, but they will have all the dialogues, okay. So those days I used to watch, I mean, especially Thiruvalayadal movie, okay. Thiruvalayadal movie was played every single day in my grandmother's house. And I lived in my grandmother's house when I was studying in my first grade. Imagine every single day. You know Thiruvalayadal movie from Tamil, okay? Thiruvalayadal movie focuses on certain important stuff about Madurai, Nagar, and which is associated with Shiva, okay, Lord Shiva. So I was fascinated about all these things. I used to recite mantras. I used to blindly follow all the rituals, whatever. For example, some book will say, okay, if you recite this mantra 108 times, whatever you think will come true. I will do it, okay. And I was very mad about all these religious texts. I read Shiva Purana and Skanda Purana, okay, and I believed it. Okay, I literally believed that everything that is said in those texts is completely true. Okay, so that is exactly how my situation was. But one day, I came across some torn pages from no. I actually came across Ramakrishna Paramahansa's book, actual book. Okay, the pages were torn in the beginning and at the end. But this book, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the book about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa saying, made a very big impact in my life. I understood that there is another purpose to a religion, okay? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa spoke something called samadhi. And he spoke, and it was, and he was very, very different. So for example, he even used to narrate a story, okay? There was a guy who was in deep samadhi, okay? A deep samadhi, and he was lying down in the street because he was in a very deep samadhi. And a drunkard came on that way. He thought, okay, this guy is totally drunk. I am also drunk, but at least I am managing, okay, to go home. And but this guy doesn't have a clue, okay, about where he is right now. He is completely drunk, and he went. Then a thief came. The thief thought, okay, this guy is also a thief. I am a thief. I stole everything, okay, but I know I don't take any risks, okay. I will go home straight, okay, after stealing all these things. But this stupid thief is lying here, okay. He is sleeping because of all the tiredness. Probably he is very, very tired because of sleeping. That is exactly why he is sleeping. Then a yogi, I mean, not a yogi, okay, somebody who's in samadhi, okay, somebody who's deeply spiritual. The reason why I said not a yogi, it has a reason, okay, I'll let you know. So somebody who's deeply spiritual, he also came and he immediately recognized him, okay, okay, this guy is in samadhi, and he immediately touched his feet, okay, and and kind of like finished all the so-called formalities, okay, that they do, okay, and then he went away. So this is one story of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Okay, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa will his stories are incredible. Okay, he will try to make people understand about very, very deeper spiritual truths with simple stories. Okay, and I was very impressed by him. So I can say that he is my first guru. So I started to look at Hinduism in a totally different way after my encounter with the writings of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's disciples about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, because obviously nothing was written by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa himself, okay. It was written by his disciples. They have recorded his teachings and they have written down his books, okay. So that is what I did. Say I can go on and on, okay. I actually planned this for a reason. Okay, it said it was reconnecting. So I hope there are no connection issues, okay. So as I said, there is certainly going to be a twist in this video. Okay. So what else? See, first of all, I think it is. I'm when I'm speaking, I'm noticing this viewers count. Okay, it is fluctuating a lot. For 1 second there are 7 viewers. For the next second, it immediately changes to 2 viewers. I don't know if it is normal or not. Thing is, when I am encouraged to speak a lot when there are a lot of comments. Okay, because when people are talking. Okay, Kushagra Trivedi, at last, okay, he has appeared. Okay, hi. So I think you are appearing on every video, but you are not commenting recently because you you had some concerns. Okay, so that is okay. Okay, because at least you are commenting. Because as I told you, okay, when I receive comments, what is the twist? So so how did you find? I mean, how did you just come? Okay, did you receive a notification? Because it is related to the twist. Okay, it is not a very big deal actually. First of all, okay, don't expect too much. Okay, don't expect too much. But yeah, there is a simple twist to it. So what is the topic of the video and comments? Okay, adapt insight. So what is the topic of the video and comments are relevant? No, I think you have to rephrase the question. Okay, I don't understand the question because you actually we have met before, right? I mean, when I say we have met before, I read your comments before in one of my previous live videos, right? Okay, okay. So where was I? What I was talking about? Yeah, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, right? And after Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, what happened was this. I will tell you about the twist. Kushagra Trivedi. There is a reason why I actually made this video. I made this video in a totally different intention, okay, but somehow it is working out, which means that my calculation was right. But anyway, I will continue. Okay, I will go ahead and first of all talk about the topic. I will stick to the topic of this video. Okay, so after Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, what happened was I had more curiosity to explore Hinduism. I even read Bhagavad Gita. Even when I was young, I read Bhagavad Gita, but I didn't understand it much. Okay, but Ramakrishna Paramahamsa he indeed made a very deep influence in my spiritual growth. Okay, so this guy was one person. Okay, yeah, I will talk about Osho. Okay, because Osho came to my life when I was 18 years old. Of course, if I can never ever end this video without talking about Osho, but I have to talk about what happened before I met Osho, right? So after Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, there was another there was another breakthrough in my life, which came through a book. I even remember the name of the book. It is called as Udale Unne Aradhikire. It is in Tamil language, okay, and it is written by an engineer called Desikacharya. Okay, Desikacharya is son of Krishnamacharya, who was a yogi. He was able to do. I mean, he was able to do all kinds of yogic postures. He knew everything about yoga. Okay, when it comes to yoga, Jaggi Vasudev was nothing before Krishnamacharya. Have you ever heard of Krishnamacharya? See, go to Vikatan publications. Even now, we can find this book. If you know Tamil, there is a book called Udale Unne Aradhikiren. Okay, this Krishnamacharya, even when he was 80 years old, Jaggi was talking about yoga, yoga, yoga. Ask him to do some yoga, okay? He would, he ask him to do yogi postures, okay? That is the basic, right? Ask him to do Surya Namaskar. Name one asana and ask him to do it. He can't do it. He will never ever do it. Have you ever seen Krishnamacharya in the first place? I'm telling you, first of all, Krishnamacharya, I think he died when he was very very old, and this book Udale One Adharikirin, it impressed me a lot. Okay, it is then I learnt about the 8 steps of yoga. Okay, and the 8th step is samadhi. Now I will just ask you a question. Okay, See, if you're watching this video, if you're being very, very attentive, you can guess my feelings when I learnt about this. This is the first time I am through this book. For the first time, I learnt about Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, Ashtanga Yoga contains 8 steps. Okay, Niyama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. I might have missed one step, I think. I don't know. But yeah, these are the steps, right? The final step is Samadhi. I think I uttered the word Samadhi before in this video, right? Let me first of all see, okay, I'll give you 30 seconds time. When did I utter the word Samadhi in this video before? Because I really want to know if you're actually watching this video because you want to. If you want to make this as I don't know how to put it. Okay, I really want to make sure if you're following this video in the first place. So no, I did not get answer so far. So I will let you know the answer. Okay. Just before some time I was talking about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was talking about Samadhi all the time, right? In fact, I even gave you a story. I told you a story about a thief, a drunkard, and a yogi. 3 people who saw a person who was in Samadhi. So I came across the word Samadhi for the first time through Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And I am coming across the same word Samadhi through a totally different, unrelated source. I mean, it is related because it is spirituality, but this is the path of yoga. But in the path of yoga, there are 8 steps, and that is why it is called as Ashtanga Yoga. And the 8th step is Samadhi. So these two different ideas, these two different things, made a tremendous, tremendous impact in my life. In addition to it, I had also heard about something called bhakti, okay? And the most important text which was very, very influential when it comes to bhakti was Periya Puranam. Periya Puranam is a Tamil text in Tamil, okay? It talks about 63 Nayanmars, okay? All these 63 Nayanmars, and I had a very interesting story, okay? It is my grandmother who told me about Periya Puranam, okay? I asked my grandmother, you have a very big. See, I always like books, okay? And I used to read a lot of books um, about different topics, science, biology, botany, everything, okay? I even used to get the books of my seniors, okay? For example, if I am in 4th grade, I will ask the book of, when I'm traveling in bus, what they used to do is sometimes people who are seniors, they will give me their bag, okay? Sometimes they will give it, college students, they will give me their book, okay? Please, because they are standing, I'm sitting, right? They will give me their books, and they will ask me to take care of it. What I will do is, I will not just take care of it, I will read those books. When I read those books, I will like, okay, I already know, okay, for example, when I was in 5th grade, I know that there is something called trigonometry, okay, because I didn't understand it, okay. Algebra, trigonometry, everything was familiar, okay. I did not understand them. Okay, Periya Puranam, something is, okay, you are a big fan of Periya Puranam, yes. See, I like Periya Puranam very much, and I was impressed by it as well, and especially, um, it emphasized bhakti, right? So it gave me um a different outlook on religion as well, okay. So to summarize all these things, okay, first I was only reading Puranas, okay, Puranas and mantras. I believed when you utter a particular mantra, God will grant boons. And when I read all these Puranas, I thought that, okay, there are different gods, okay, they are living in a family somewhere. And I literally thought that it is true, okay. But first breakthrough came when I read Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. I learnt about Samadhi, and then the next breakthrough came when I learnt about this yoga, okay. where I learnt that there is a something, there is a totally different topic. For example, pranayama is very very interesting. I attempted pranayama. Okay, when I was very very young, like when I was in fifth grade, I used to do pranayama. My father will ask, "What are you doing?" Okay, I am doing pranayama. I will say, okay, as if I am a yogi, because I was like, what all these people are doing, because nobody knows anything about what I am doing, right? Those days, if any, these days there is YouTube, internet, okay, no, probably many people are familiar with all these terms, okay, because there is YouTube. But those days nobody will know about it unless, if you utter the word pranayama, they immediately will think, okay, you are a very good guy, okay, you are a spiritual guy. But these days anybody will say all these things. For example, even a common audience who is watching Jaggi Vasu's videos will say, yeah, I know about Mahasamadhi, I know about karma. Yeah, I know karma. There is something called karma, there is something called samadhi, there is something called spiritual enlightenment, moksha. Yeah, I know Adi Shankara, I know J. Krishnamurti, I know Osho, everybody, because I am following Jaggi Vasu. But those days it was not like that, okay. If somebody is saying, for example, I was having a conversation with a guy, okay, who came to my house. I asked some questions, okay, some questions about Puranas, which were contradictory, okay. There is a story in Puranas about the origin of Kaveri river, okay, Kaveri river. There are two different stories, and I felt a contradiction between the two different stories. Since I was a kid, okay, I used to literally believe everything. So I was confused. Why there is a contradiction? Okay, one story says that Kaveri originated because of this way. Another story is about Tirunelveli. Okay, what is the connection between Tirunelveli and Kaveri? Okay, so I was so totally confused. And there was one guy who came to my house that day. Okay, he claimed to be very very. I mean, as far as when he came to my house, somehow I understood that he is a guy who knows something, right? So I'm a curious kid. I asked him, okay, what is this? What is this? And later on, since he was giving me good company, I felt, okay, this is a very good guy, okay, because he knows what I am talking about. Because my own family members would not know what I am talking about. If I ask them this, okay, they will say, I don't know, okay. So this guy seems to know something, so I was impressed, okay. And later on, I immediately started, yeah, I know about yoga, I know about Ashtanga yoga, there are 8 steps, right? And he was immediately impressed because this guy is doing asanas for many, many years, right? So all these things until now, okay, till now, I think he's not alive anymore, probably, okay. Um, but I have heard a lot about that person as well. I have never met that same person again, but my relatives always used to say me, okay, this person that he met, this person who met you when you were studying, he always used to ask us, okay, how are you doing? Because he was very much impressed. So that is how I was, okay. So as I tell, okay, there were three main important breakthroughs in my, I mean, two main, okay. Actually, one is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. The other is my introduction to Ashtanga Yoga through this book, okay, which is from Vikatan Publications. And I don't remember any other breakthrough until I read Osho's book, okay. Was there any other important? Yeah, I mentioned about Pariya right? Because I have to give some credit to Bhakti Yoga, right? So Pariya is all about Bhakti, right? I was I, the only reason why, I mean, I don't think I completed what I started when it comes to this, okay. When I started talking about Pariya okay, I told you one thing. It was a very huge book in my uh, in the shelf. Okay, I took the book Pariya Purana and I asked my grandma, "What is this book? It looks so huge." It is Pariya Puranam, and I believe that if you read Pariya Puranam, you will attain moksha. That is why I have this book in my shelf. So when I am very very young, right? When somebody says something like this, I will be very much interested. For me, the word moksha was, I did not know the true meaning of moksha back then. Okay, when it comes to moksha, I thought, because I was exposed to various religions, right? When I was in first standard, I was exposed to Christianity. When I was in second standard, I was exposed to Islam. And these two religions talk about a paradise where we can live happily. So I thought moksha is a place where we can live very, very happily. And I love that, okay. So if I read this book and if we can get moksha, that will be very, very great, okay. So I started reading it, okay, as much as possible. And I'm not an expert, okay. I don't even remember those because I read it and I even forgot the details. I know even my grandma used to relate this Sritonda Nayanar Pranam, right? Sritonda Nayanar, okay. The story about the human sacrifice, the couple who did not have any child for a very long time, and suddenly they had the child, and then Shiva himself comes as a beggar's in a beggar's disguise, and he eats everything. I mean, he comes and then he asks one thing. Okay, he comes as a Shiva Tondar. Okay, Shiva Tondar means somebody who is a disciple of Shiva. Okay, who is serving Shiva. So in Shaivism, I'm getting a call. Okay, please wait. சொல்லுங்க ப்ரோ. சாப்பாடா? இந்த இப்போ தான் கொண்டு வந்துருக்கோமா சஞ்சீவ், இங்கே தானே சொல்கிறீங்க மேலே? வந்துச்சு வந்துச்சு கொண்டு இப்போ தான் கொண்டு வந்துடுறேன் சஞ்சீவ், ஒரு நிமிஷங்க. பத்து சப்பாத்தி, கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் சப்பாத்தி இருக்குது, கொஞ்சம் இது இருக்குது. ஏன் என்ன செய்ய சாப்பிடணுமா? பாலண்ணா பாலமேரன் வந்துட்டாரா? இதுங்க எத்தனை சப்பாத்தி தெரியல, எல்லாம் ஒன்றா வச்சுருக்காங்க, ஒரு நிமிஷம். இல்லை கீழே வாங்கிக்கலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. சப்பாத்தினா ரெண்டு பேர் சாப்பிட்ற மாதிரி இருக்கிற மாதிரி தெரியல எனக்கு. ஒன்று ரெண்டு இது இதில் வச்சுருக்காங்களா? ஒன்று ரெண்டு மூணு நாலு, அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணி சாப்பிட்டுக்கலாம். இல்லை கீழே எக்ஸ்ட்ரா வாங்கிக்கலாமா? ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லையா? சரி ஓகே, பிரச்சனை இல்லை. அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணி சாப்பிட்டுக்கலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. அப்படி வேணால் வந்து கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா வாங்கிக்கலாம், சரிங்களா? சரியா? சரி ஓகே ப்ரோ, ஓகே ப்ரோ, ஓகே. Okay. 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 Let me see the comments. Okay, I was talking about Pariyapuram, right? I got a call. Okay, there is a beautiful YouTube channel, Shiva Shiva, which shows all the 9 more stories in animation. The channel is in Tamil, though. Okay, I'm a Tamil person. Okay, some stories are crazy to comprehend. Thank you. Speaking about Pariyapuram. Okay, so looks like you are a huge fan. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. I also love Periya Purana, especially because when it comes to my community, this Devaram plays a very important role. Okay, these 4 people from Periya Purana called Nalvar. Okay, who are they? If you are reading Periya Purana, you should name it. Okay, Upper is same as Tirunavakarasar. Okay, Upper is Tirunavakarasar. Sundarar. Okay, Upper Sundara Tirunyana Samandar. And who is the other person? That is the person that I keep forgetting. Okay, Upper Sundarar Tirunyana Samandar. I already mentioned Sundarar, man. Upper Tirunyana Samandar, Manikya Vasagar. Okay, I think so. Okay, anyway, I don't have to. I mean, let us not bore the other people. Okay, so these are the Nalvar. Okay, 4 people. Upper Sundara, Trinyana Samadar, Manikya Vasagar. Yeah, Manikya Vasagar who is the one who wrote Thiruvasagam, right? So it is another famous text, and we used to have Thiruvasagam Muttrodudal, okay, which means that we recite the entire Thiruvasagam on a single day, and it is very, very famous in our Santosh Bhuvan. What is your native place? I'm curious because I'm from Tirunelveli, because in Tirunelveli we used to have this Thiruvasagam Muttrodudal function, which means that entire Thiruvasagam is recited on a single day. Okay, they will start at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning after breakfast. Okay, they will finish it at 6 o'clock. In the meantime, they will also provide lunch for people who are reciting Chennai. Okay, so have you ever heard of this program called Thiruvasagam Muttrodudal? Because you love all these things, maybe you will love it. Okay, you should probably participate it. I don't know if it is popular in other districts, but it is very, very popular in my place, which is Tirunelveli district. Okay, so function, and it is a good practice actually, because Thiruvasagam is a Tamil literature. It is not just a spiritual or a religious book. It is a very deep Tamil literature, and I always wanted to understand the meaning of it. I even bought a book, okay. There is one person who wrote three books, okay. He is from Trichy, I think, you know. He wrote a very good book, commentary about on Bhagavad Gita, and I think he also, there are three books, okay. One is about Bhagavad Gita, the other is about Trivasakam. I know that for sure. I lost that book. I have to buy that book again, okay. I'm aware of Trivasakam, but not aware of this program. It is not like it is a practice. It is not even a program. It is a practice. Okay. If you come to, even today, you know, for example, this Thiruvasakam Mutrothudal function will be conducted for many occasions. For example, if you have a marriage, or if you are naming your child, or if you have a childbirth, okay, to celebrate this occasion, okay, they are spiritual people in our places, and I have attended at least, you know, like, you know, 15 to 20 such programs myself, and even now it is happening right now, okay. And I am very happy that, you know, they are making Thiruvasakam alive these days. So yeah, so I was talking about three different things, right? One is my introduction to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and then my introduction to this book from Ananda Vikatan, okay, which gave me an introduction to Ashtanga Yoga, and I also got the introduction of Periya Puranam. These three introductions played a very major part in my life, and yeah, there were lot of contradictions between these things, okay, right? For example, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says stay away from women, and I was studying in fourth grade. Even when I was in fourth grade, I thought that it is very, very difficult. Think about it, okay? I was studying in fourth grade when I was reading Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and he is saying, stay away from women, okay? It is actually for a grown up audience, okay? He even, you know, I don't even know if I should say that, okay? He will even know, okay? See, think about all the body parts of women that you are obsessed about. All this is made up of flesh, anyway, right? It is made up of blood, and you know, it is made up of all the, you know, like disgusting things, anyway, okay. On the surface, it looks good. Why am I getting message retracted from two people? One is from Adapt Insight, and other from Dr. Potato Head. I did not notice your comment. I think you sent me a message and the message got retracted. Any reason for it? Was it a mistake, or because two messages got retracted at the same time? I hope that Adapt Insight and Dr. Potato Head is not the same person, okay? Not so, right? Because, you know, I can read some patterns, okay? But whatever reason your message got retracted, I don't know. So the fourth, as far as I remember, okay, I will tell you about the twist, okay, before the fourth, okay. Yes, I'm getting a lot of comments in this video, but do you know that I made a live video just before this video? See, the thing is, I'm not saying that, you know, somebody did something wrong. I'm trying to understand the reason, okay. So what I'm saying is, like, you know, I actually started this video for an experiment purposes, but this video is working out very well, okay. I did not plan to start this video, okay. I started this video just like that, okay. In fact, this video was the consequence of my previous live video. Do you know what my previous live video was about? It was about the death of an innocent woman called Vijay Kumari, okay, Vijay. She, according to the report, she died on January 23rd, 1997. And for the last 2 days, I am trying to actually gather some audience to discuss about this. Okay. But for some reason, I'm not getting any comments at all. Yesterday, I made part 1. Today, I made part 2. And I observed something very, very unusual. I know how many people comment on my live video whenever they come. So I was wondering, okay, I have to find out some reason, right? Is it because of the title or because of some mere coincidence? Yesterday I did not have I did not receive any comments. That is okay. Even today I did not receive any comments. Okay, it was like nobody is caring to comment about this when I am talking about something very controversial. That is very important because whenever I speak about Jaggi Vasudev, people will come. Okay, if I talk about enlightenment, people will not come. But if I talk about Jaggi Vasudev, people will be there. I know. Okay, because one day I made a video. The title was this. It was a live video. Actress Samantha Jaggi was there on Asia Foundation. Do you know? In the past 30 days, that is the one video which is doing very well. I don't know. Maybe it is because for some reason, I mean, yeah, the reason why I quoted actress Samantha and Jaggi was together is because of a live it makes me laugh. Maybe people thought, okay, I have discovered something, like Nityananda, for example. Nityananda was caught with Ranjita, an actress, right? So maybe I was going to discuss something very very sensational about Samantha and Jaggi was there. But that video went really like I got like 1,000 views on a single day. Whenever I make a live video, if I make a live video today, and if I wake up and look at the views, it will say you have 65 views, 80 views, 100 views to the maximum. Okay, that is my limit. But after making this video title, some actress Samantha Jaggi was there in Isha Foundation. Next day I see 1,000 views. So yeah, I think people choose stuff based upon the sensation that it creates, right? So okay, adapt is. I'm interested about your investigation. I'm interested about the investigation about killing Jaggi was their wife. I came late in your previous video and I did not know what you were talking about. And also, I'll okay. So first of all, I will reply to your question. Okay. So the in that case, okay, please watch these two videos because my previous video was part two. The reason why I started a new video is because I don't want to confuse people. But I think it is good that I started a new video because I'm getting a lot of comments and interactions in this new video. So anyway, it doesn't matter to me. Okay, for me, I'm observing everything. Okay, I am totally different from what many people think about me. Okay, I'm in a very different stage. I'm not claiming to be an extraordinary or something. Okay, but I know that I have reached some place and it has its own challenges. Okay, I've already discussed about this in my article called Life After Spiritual Awakening, and many people contacted me regarding this. But I understand one thing, I'm a very very normal guy. Okay, whatever that I went through is a very natural process. Okay, and I went through it because the one thing that helped me towards this is honesty. In fact, self honesty. Self honesty is being honest to yourself. Okay, you know who you are. Okay, so for me it was very very important, and I have to thank Osho for it because Osho was the one who said it. Okay, who insisted that it is very very important. Okay, because according to what Osho said was this. Okay, no matter where you are at your spiritual journey, never conclude, never make your own conclusion that you have reached it. And it makes sense because, for example, okay, if I'll give you a scenario. Okay, you are telling other people that you are an enlightened person. Okay, you are even conducting programs and everything, but you are having some problems also. Okay, you wish the things are different. In some sense, you wish there is a better experience. Okay, you have a need for an experience which is better than your current experience, and somebody tells you, you think that you're enlightened. Okay, you're convinced that you're enlightened, even your experience tells you you're enlightened, but you're longing for a higher state which is much more pleasant than your current state. But you are convinced that Your current state is the highest possibility that a person can attain. You, you're following me right now? And now somebody is telling you, okay, you're not enlightened. And they are giving you a clear proof. If you're really longing for a higher state, a state that is better than this, then you will be happy about it, okay? That is exactly what I am saying. If somebody tells me, okay, I mean, if somebody really opens my eyes, because there is one comment who said, okay, you are not enlightened, and he gave a very long comment, and he also finished the comment by saying that I hope this opens your eyes. I will tell you a way to open my eyes, okay? If you really open my eye, I'll be very, very happy because the way you argue should convince me there is a higher state than the state that I'm experiencing. If it is true, I'm telling you, I won't get offended. I will be happy. But I will ask you another question as well. So, how to find that higher state? Because that higher state is like there are some practical, even though you are all perfect, okay. But anyway, okay, let us forget about, okay. Let us talk about this because we are talking about many different topics, okay. So you're bringing back Jagi Vasudev right now. I'm looking at the comments. It may be because of Samantha, but no one is interested, Jagi. It may be because of Samantha. That is true, okay. That is a good point, okay. It's a good. Sadhguru will sue you, bro. Don't bring heat on yourself. Man, he has already done it, I think. I think he's already done it, okay. Because if you have been following my channel, I think I narrated something that happened to me in 2020. A guy tortured me in Bangalore. It is very important because Jagi was their native place is Karnataka. He is not a Tamil person, okay. He is from Karnataka. He has lived in Bangalore, in Mysore, okay. He is very close to Bangalore. And that was the time when I was very, very critical about Jagi Vasudev. I think there is some trick that they played to torture me, to to kill me actually. I was threatened that I should be killed, okay. But I think based on my behavior, somehow I was released because do you know what happened in 2020? Do you know what happened? See, at the same time lockdown also happened, okay. I can't narrate the whole story, okay, but I will narrate one incident that happened, okay, in 2020. Suddenly, uh, my so-called classmate, okay, he studied with me, okay, he claims to study with me. Again, I don't even. I really suspect there is some kind of fraudulent activity here because the guy's name is Karthik Narayan, okay. I know that there was a Karthik Narayan in my school. But one thing I noticed when I met Karthik Narayan was this. The guy that I know from my ninth grade, who was called as Karthik Narayan, does not resemble Karthik Narayan that I met him. Well, I have met my other classmates too, okay. They always have some kind of resemblance to tell me, okay, this is the same guy that I met, okay. Mariappan looked like Mariappan, R.P. Selvam looked like R.P. Selvam, Mary looked like Mary. All these are my classmates' names, okay. But this Karthik Narayanan did not look like the Karthik Narayanan that I used to know. But instead, I will tell you one thing, okay? Instead, he looked like another person that I used to know, which was a Muslim guy. He was from my workplace. I mean, maybe this is just a coincidence, okay? But this is not, I am not the only person who said this. This girl, Mary, I have to bring her in the picture, okay? When I was talking, she also said the same thing. But his face looks different, right? We all know Karthik.